Good day, everybody. It is March 2nd. Thought I'd do a update for the beginning of March since we hit one in the middle of February. So it's frosty morning this morning, just -8.5 when I got up, but supposed to hit +6 today. And cattle are out grazing in the frost up on the hill. I'm going to take you over to the Bale grazing. They've got everything knocked over at the Bale grazing, and they've been in cleanup mode now for probably about a week. It's going real well. We had a couple inches of snow, and that didn't slow them down whatsoever in the Bale grazing. They were in there the very next day, and they were fluffing it up and working through it, and it's working real good. They haven't been in here yet today, but they're out grazing, and that's fine too. They do their picking there. You got the one in the windbreak all knocked over, and if the wind comes up, they got a nice bedding pack there. Yesterday, we went to a meeting in Assiniboia and talked about CFIA and their traceability rules they're bringing in. And I don't know, I think there's probably about 180, 190 people there. Lots of good conversation about how the industry feels about these rules that the CFIA wants to bring in into our Canadian livestock industry. I know if there's any U.S. friends watching, it probably doesn't pertain to you, but yeah, I think it's a pretty important part of our industry. We've got to stand united as livestock producers. So from this angle, you can see where it's all been roughed up and fluffed up over the last day or two. And yeah, there's frost on it all. They haven't been in here this morning, but they're doing their job. They're going through it. They're spreading it out, and they're taking what they need, leaving the rest. I'm very happy with the way this Bale grazing has gone. I mean, you guys got to understand, this is a small herd. There's only 7 head here now because I got rid of that one that had a respiratory problem. Somebody took her for meat, and so there's only 7 here now. But it just goes to show that you don't have to have 100 head or 200 head or 400 head to make this work. It can work on any scale. The scale is you put out what you need to put out for the amount of cows you've got. So I've been putting out like 9 bales or 8 bales at a time, right? And I've been putting out 8 bales at a time, and the first batch went for a month and a half. We put them out November 24th, and we went till January 18th, I believe I put out the next ones. And then since January 18th till March 2nd now, they're grazing out, and they're using the bales as to fill up. So 16 bales for 7 or 8 head throughout the year, with the access to pretty decent grazing. A neat part, so give you a little history on where they're grazing in here right now and up on the hill. Maybe take you up. Well, we'll head up that way. I'll take you up there. It's got to be 5-6 years ago. I've rolled out my feed for my herd when I had my main herd here. I had rolled out my feed across this area where they're grazing, and they're spending a lot of time grazing up in this area. But it's a neat thing because where all that nutrition went down a few years back, I can still see that in the growth patterns and in the way the grass comes back after it's grazed, and that's where they're spending time grazing when they're grazing. Like the grass is in better shape. It's in better condition than everywhere else where I didn't feed on. So that shows you how, with spreading feed out or bale grazing, how long lasting those nutrients stay and how it changes the nutrient cycle in your pastures and your land. It's like, and the camera may not do it justice once we get up here because it's hard to tell, but when you're walking through it or driving through it, you see that you can see the waves where the bales were, and you can see that more production that I've gotten, and that was spreading stuff out. So I'm interested to see what my bale grazing area looks like in 5 years, if everything works out great. Turn you around here. So this is along this old fence, and I really didn't feed that close to it when I started. I mean, I stayed about 40 feet away, but they're grazing this because this grass had a bigger bounce last fall with the nutrients and the moisture we had. And as I work north through the field, you can see how the grass is thicker and is in better condition. Maybe we'll be able to see some of the actual patterns of how the feed went. I'm not sure. I know I can see some here by my naked eye. You can see where some of the trash was left thicker, what I fed 5 years ago, to where it wasn't. And I'm not sure how well that comes through on the camera. But as you look across, you see them different colorations. And that's where the higher nutrients were. And that's where maybe the grass thinned out. And now it's coming back in, but it's coming back in so much stronger and so much more productive. And this is 5 years later. Anyway, just a quick update. I hope people like, subscribe, share, comment. I don't want to make this too long. I've got to go haul and some grain for the guy I work with, and yeah, there's my little bull calf. He's doing nicely. He's coming along great. I think he's got the prospect of being a herd bull. Time will tell. He's got a ways to go yet. But I just wanted to give you an update on the bale grazing and show you what they're out grazing. And so all of this area was spread on, and you can really notice the extra feed that's here through the growing time and now through the winter time. That's through this winter. The cattle have been grazing up here on these areas more so than anywhere else because of the way it came back better. All right, we're going to let you go. Have a great day. Talk to you again next time.